community tourism, country-style tourism, country-style community tourism network, country-style villages as businesses, country-style community lifestyle experiences, vacations and tours, and the role that the Jamaican and Caribbean diaspora may play in country-style tourism. Welcome. To help me unpack all of this is the person who has spent a lifetime making it happen, not only in Jamaica, but elsewhere in the Caribbean. My special guest on Real Talk, Diana McIntyre-Pike. Diana, welcome to Real Talk.
Thank you very much.
I have listed so many initiatives, and there are a whole lot more that you have been engaged in. You've been engaged in environmental matters, and you name it. You have gone into the villages, the rural areas of Jamaica, and you've tried to bring some of the benefits of not only internal tourism, but external tourism to the real people in these communities. And look, I'm quite biased towards that because I count myself as one of those real people who are out of these small communities. First of all, what is meant by community tourism, what it means, and what your role has been. And I want you to tell us, because so many people, they hear the name Diana McIntyre-Pike. They see you on social media, they may have heard you on radio, TV, or wherever. But do they know the depths of your engagement from day one? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, first of all, I think it's important to mention why I have the passion. My family, my mother was the pioneer of the grill, and we had guest house in Savamar, Hendon House, that I grew up with. And I saw how my mother embraced the community with the guests. We should take them out to the community parties, market, church, whatever it may be. In other words, they became a part of our lifestyle. It was not called community tourism then. And then when I studied in Europe, I saw it in action because I saw what they do in Germany, and I saw what they in UK, where people go to different communities for different events, etc. That's what we have all of this. Anyway, I came back home and I was offered a job at the largest hotel called Holiday Inn in Montego Bay. And the job I had was guest relations director. When I went there, Curtis, I was taken aback because remember now, I don't come from the resort area, I'm from the rural area. I noticed that there was nothing Jamaican there. Everything was American, including the food. And even the waiters were talking with a twang. And I would ask them where they're from because they said they won't understand them unless they speak with a twang. I said, that's rubbish. Anyway, to cut a long story short, I introduced, after 3 months, a Jamaica chit-chat session about the culture and the heritage of our country. In other words, I brought Jamaica to Holiday Inn, and it created big news. I got a lot of publicity for it. I brought community people in to help with the rap session. It was supposed to be 1 day a week. I had to run it every day. And guests would come to my office and say they want to hear more. Because
that's what they come for. They come for a piece of Jamaica.
Yes, they do. And so I moved my desk to the lobby because they wanted to have ongoing, because the executive office said I was turning the office into a marketplace. And that I was 21 years old. So a lot of people don't know about it. This is news because nobody knew about this. I'm talking about currently. So I was in the lobby there. After 1 year, the manager came to me and said, I'd like to see you, Miss McIntyre, in my office. So I went there and he asked a question. But before he asked the question, he said, I want to find out, who do you work for? Montego Bay, Holiday Inn, or Jamaica? We admire what you have done. You've created very big publicity, but I need to find out from you. My response, I work for everybody. He said, well, I hear you're recommending restaurants outside of Holiday Inn, and we have 3 restaurants here. I said, sir, you don't have a Jamaican restaurant in here. You don't have a Jamaican menu in here. So what am I to do? Tell them they can't get Jamaican food? I'm sorry, I can't do that. He says it's against Holiday Inn policy. So I said, well, you know what? My mother said I must follow rules and regulations. I will not remain here. I'll give you a month's notice and we go from there. And that's when Abe Issa discovered me, called me and said, I'd like you to work with us at Runaway Bay because I like your approach. He used to call me Little Abe. And I went there. He came all the way from Kingston to meet with me, you know, can you imagine? And I got that job there and I was there for a good year. And then my family felt that I should take up the German scholarship because a lot of Germans were coming in and yeah, they had a different mindset. So that's how I ended up in Germany. But when I returned from Germany in 1977, I decided no more resort, no more of that. I got good offers. You'd think I'm crazy. I got some big offers. He wanted me on his Issa hotels. I turned it down. And I decided I'm going to do something different. I met Desmond Henry in 1978 when he was the director of tourism and shared my passion. And we sat in my dining room at my late hotel, or my past hotel, the Astra Country Inn, and we coined the name community tourism. So that's why the International Institute of Peace has now branded Jamaica as the home of community tourism. Okay.
The word country style suggests to me that you're not talking about the entire country Jamaica. You're talking about the nooks and crannies, the rural areas of Jamaica.
Country life.
Country life. Tell me about this whole tourism concept.
Okay.
Around
it's a very important question
country.
You're asking me. Very important, because our approach is that community tourism is community development. That's what it is. We're not developing communities for tourism. We're developing communities to give them a chance to manage your community as a business, do a business plan, and identify projects and potential projects. And that is what the visitors are interested in, because they want to enjoy the lifestyle and what opportunities they have that they could help them. So we are included Pick a Project and Adopt a Village programs. We had like 7 groups with Pick a Project where they include projects within their vacation experience. We designed it that way. Desmond came up with a theme for country style, where the beaches end or country life begins. And we have since embraced the urban, I call it the urban communities, like in Kingston,
Right.
which is good. Augustown.
Makes a lot of sense, really.
But we're in the business of designing community lifestyle experiences for study tours. We brought in the first study tour here, you know. Penn State University came in and we designed, we had them for about 10 years in a row here in tourism and environment. So that's where we got a lot of information. I love study tours because they give us the information that they have studied so that we can utilize it. Now, country style has focused on building a strong foundation of training, because you have to train people in entrepreneurship and to understand what the word means. It's not just owning a business. Entrepreneurship means they're prepared to fail. And it's a French word that people didn't know it was a French word. When I finish with them, they understand. And that is a French word that has given opportunity for people, but they must be prepared to fail 100 times to have their vision. And we have now created the Countryside Institute for Sustainable Tourism, and we trained 3,000 people over a period of 5 years who did not have HEART certification. HEART would not take them because they didn't have grade 9. So we targeted them. The late Barry Bonito was my partner, and he was a Diaspora person from Canada. And he came and helped us to develop the program. And these people, a lot of them got jobs in not just Jamaica, but overseas. And many became managers without grade 9, because we focus on self-development, personal development, being ambassadors for their community, being ambassadors for their family, being ambassadors for themselves. And it's a whole different approach. You can't just, operate in isolation. You need to know what's around you and where you're from. So having done that, we emerged and we created a Sustainable Communities Foundation. And the Sustainable Communities Foundation, we managed to get funding from CEDA in Canada for 1 year to train communities in training people, trainers, and we also got HEART on board to give certification to community cooks and community host guides. We call them community host guides because tour guides is not accepted here by the European market, especially because tour guide is somebody who is, has a degree or has more understanding of the whole country and the world. So when we put community host guides, the tour operator would bring the bus into the community with their professional tour guide and then put the community host guide on the bus. And then the community host guide now goes to the hairdresser salon and so on and tell them about the experience. So that is how we position it. And we had 1 year of funding, and that laid the foundation for the creation of the Villages as Businesses program, which I will tell you straight now, I've never said it publicly. I prayed about it and I got a spiritual message the next morning and I wrote it down to call it Villages as Businesses. And from then my life changed because the people enjoy the name, they like it. We are in business.
So this country-style Villages as Businesses seems to me to be an answer to the commercialization where the hotels themselves put in these gift shops and import stuff from China, branded Jamaica or elsewhere in the Caribbean for that matter, and sell them to tourists. And tourists are purchasing these branded souvenirs, going back and handing out stuff to their friends. This came from Jamaica, but it's not genuine Jamaican.
No.
So what you're talking about with country-style Villages as Businesses can reverse that trend if it is.
But it has
fully
done
developed.
that. It has done that.
Do you get pushback from some of the commercial interests?
No, not really, because what happened is that the commercial interests, they like the fact that we've made the connections because they're getting people asking them when they come to the shops for real Jamaican art and craft and so on. And we have these people as members because we make people into members, of Country Style. And we get their profile and everything. So much so, this is important. This happened recently. 6 tour operators, lead tour operators called me up and said that the tourist board has asked them to develop community lifestyle tours or community tours. They didn't say lifestyle, community tours for the Diaspora for the 60th anniversary. And the only person they could think of who could lead it was Diana on Country Style. So I'm in conversation with them now. And the reason for that is that they have confidence to know that anywhere I go, I have sensitized people. I'm well established with them. When I stop, I don't just talk about the craft, I talk about the person. I tell visitors, this is Miss Madge, she has 6 children and blah, blah. So by the time they get to the stop, they are able to come off the bus and say, hi, Miss Madge, I hear you have some children and blah, blah, blah.
I have seen wonderful feedbacks from members of the diaspora who have participated in some of those visits to rural Jamaica.
Yes.
And they were coming back and said, this is my first time going beyond Kingston or Spanish Town.
Yeah.
And I'm learning so much about Jamaica and what the people of Jamaica actually do. And
Yes.
the items they produce, the craft, the camaraderie, the food, you name it. They're thrilled. Has the tourist board taken this and tried to elevate it and push it with the kind of leadership that you have produced over the years?
Not really, you know. That there's
Why not? Why aren't they doing it?
All right, I'll tell you. The Tourism Product Development Company was created. As a matter of fact, it was Desmond who created that name, because the whole idea of TBD wasn't supposed to be separate, it was supposed to be a part of the Ministry of Tourism under the direction of the Director of Tourism. But they went and separated it as a separate entity. Now, TPDCO has a problem, because TPDCO, the way they set it up is that you have to be registered, you have to do this, you have to do that. And, you know, and this is a problem, because these people who are wonderful people are not in a position to do all that is required. Like, I have places that I have people eat, that I know the food is good over the years. And I've been told I can't put them on the program because they're not an official kitchen. Even Airbnb asked me to include my experience for them. And they were told that I can't have people go and eat in resource the ackee and the bami that is made, because they don't have an official kitchen. No, come on.
So what about those people who stop at the roadside and buy the roast yam and the salt fish
that's what
and
I'm
the jerk
saying.
chicken and the jerk pork?
They don't want that. They don't want it that way. So we have had to take a strong position on that.
But that's Jamaica. That's Jamaica.
That is Jamaica. And we have eaten over there. I don't take anybody anywhere that I don't know, and I don't know the people, and I know it's clean. I mean, come on, man. You give the people a chance. So we have done that, and TUI liked our approach so much that they did a contract with us for 3 years. And the tour included going to the hairdressing salon, going to 2 schools, they spent an hour in each school, going participating activity, going to the church, going to the community bar where they learned the real way to make rum punch. 102 or 3 hours strong and for a week. And then they went and had lunch with the community, and they talked to the owner, and then they walked down to the pastry shop and get their plantain tart and gizzada. But what happened? So what happened? They went and bought more. They bought more stuff, and they went back to the hotel and said, I want to take you to experience Jamaica. So they went and had a party at the community bar, and in other words, they became marketing ambassadors of whatever they experienced.
In the country-style villages and businesses, those agricultural producers, those small farmers, do they get a piece of this?
Yes. The beauty of what we do is that every stop gets money. We divide up the tour money with everybody. The school gets money, the farmer gets money, the church gets money. And that's why, like, you have 20 people coming in, it's worth their while. The farmers are important because they want to see how the food is grown, and they want to sample the food. We even have farm vacations included, where people can spend 3 days and stay with the farmer in the homestay program that we have. And they want to pay the farmer to allow them to plant with them. We have about 40 niche markets that we've identified, which includes the farm tourism. And we've included like church tourism, post office tourism, just to give you a few, duppy tourism, that's another part of it. And I was asked by the Eastern Caribbean states to go and present it to 10 countries in the Eastern Caribbean, what niche marketing was about. And they were amazed because the people who heard it said, I didn't realize that my home garden could be an experience. I didn't realize that.
What about organic food?
And organic food, and let me tell you something. I am so excited about Jamaica and the Caribbean, but let's talk about Jamaica. Jamaica can grow anything, and Jamaica don't have to worry about food from outside. We have all the healing herbs here. The Rastafarians have the right approach as far as that goes, And I think we have Rasta tourism too. I have people wanting to spend a day with the Rasta family. So we have made it possible for people to integrate with people in our vacation experiences. They can stay anywhere. We're not saying don't stay at Sandals and so on. That's the
In
difference.
other words, you're talking about experiencing the real Jamaica.
The real Jamaica. So you can stay at Sandals, you can stay anywhere, and we'll give you that package. And we pay, you pay me and I pay out. That's how I do it.
And Diana, trust me,
Yeah.
when I have interactions with, say, American tourists that have been to Jamaica, they don't talk to me about their experiences in the hotel. They talk to me about any experience that they're lucky to have in the community.
Yes.
I know people talk about safety and security and all that, but when you're dealing with the rural areas, you can have this kind of vacation experience safely.
Yes.
You've been doing stuff in other parts of the Caribbean.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Can you just give me some quick highlights?
Yes, I can. I've been to Dominica twice. I trained 5 communities there. St. Lucia, Antigua, and we also went to Trinidad, more recent. Well, Trinidad has a country-style Latino community that I trained. That's what they call it.
Uh-huh.
And we have in Barbados Community Tourism Network we've established there now. So that is now up and running. St. Eustatius, that was exciting, the Dutch Caribbean.
Uh-huh.
We went there twice and we set up a working committee because we always set up a committee for managing the community as a business. And St. Eustatius is a village for us because, you know, it's not a big place. So it's easy to relate to. The importance of the message that we gave to everybody is that entrepreneurship name is a risk taker. That's what the meaning is, being a risk taker. So you're supposed to prepare to fail. But they did not realize that they could stay in their community and have their school, their church, their home garden. We've done that effectively here. That's a good example. In Mandeville, we had Mrs. Stevenson's garden as our highlight. And Mrs. Stevenson earned $5 per person for her tour. And she was able to give them a drink, you know, like a lemonade or whatever with it. But guess what happened now? The tourist board went and called me and said they want to put the private home garden on the map as an attraction. Can I give them the number of Mrs. Stevenson or whoever I do it? I said, no, I can't do that because you come to Country Style and Country Style will make the arrangement because it's their private home. You have to respect their private home. We don't want to expose it that way. Well, they went behind my back and got in touch with her. And they went there and told her she had to have public liability and she has to put this in place and that. You know what she did? She called me and she said, Miss Di, I can't manage all of this. I'm not going to bother with this anymore because they want me to do all these things. And I said, don't worry about it. I will work with you. You don't worry about them. So that's what I did. I continued working with her. So what we have to get across is that when you're doing these experiences that we're talking about, do not make them become commercialized in the way that traditional tourism does.
Yes.
Look at it as a lifestyle experience.
Yes. Diana, I want you to send a strong message to the diaspora on 2 issues: how they can participate more in what you're doing and how they can help you to fund some of these projects. I don't have more than about 3 or 4 minutes for this, so take it away.
No problem. What is very good is that we have one main diaspora who has taken this on in a serious way, and that's Rudy Page from the Making Connections work in the UK. He has set up a homeward bound express tour that he's going to be promoting for the diaspora. And it includes My Jamaica Travels, which is one of our organizations that I'm a part of, My Jamaica Travels. I think that is the way to go with what he has done. He has included everything in there, the tours, the accommodation, and so everybody will get a chance to be get business. But if people are interested in becoming a member, they can become a member of our organization. And then we will be able to design any tour experiences that they want or vacation experiences. They can say what they want. They can give us their budget, etc.
Diana, is there any last word you have?
Yes, as we celebrate our 60th anniversary, we must pay attention to improving the environment of our product, to make sure it's clean, the garbage collection is done, etc. And my pet peeve right now is our flag.
The symbols of our independence.
Yes, we want back the flag, the gold and green and black flag, not the yellow one that we have at the moment.
I totally endorse that, Diana.
Yeah.
There's no excuse for government cabinet members and Jamaican government buildings flying a flag which is not the correct color. That, to me, should I say, a disgrace?
It is a disgrace, yes. I'm embarrassed.
It's embarrassing, really. And I can't believe that in this, the 60th year of our independence, where we are talking about becoming a republic, we can't get the correct color of the flag flying on at Jamaica House and the Parliament building, the cabinet offices. Come on. I have seen official portraits of cabinet ministers on the websites with the flag having yellow instead of gold.
That's correct,
I want to end on that.
Yes.
And Diana, I want to thank you very, very much. Keep up the great work you're doing. And anything that we can do here on Real Talk with Ambassador Curtis Ward, we'll be happy to help you.
Thank you. And tell them the website is visitcommunities.com/Jamaica.
Could you repeat that, please?
Yeah, visitcommunities.com/Jamaica.
Visitcommunities.com.Jamaica.
Slash
and
Jamaica.
that great note.
Yeah.
And that wonderful idea of brand Jamaica, of community style tourism. I thank you again, Diana. Until next time, this is Ambassador Curtis Ward.